approach you to
Yeah,
work?
she's like, oh, you know, do you need to make any extra money? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, I can give you, like $200 with this older guy in Palm Beach. He gets a lot of massages from girls, you know, that's all she told me.
The Department of Justice released major developments, and it once again brings attention to the connection between Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, and several well-known public figures, along with questions surrounding events that followed. You're going to want to hear how this all started. Picture a young woman working at a spa trying to make ends meet. A well-dressed British woman approaches her. She's posh, she's friendly, she sounds like royalty. She waited downstairs. I just went up, gave him a massage. That was it. That's a testimony from one of Epstein's accusers. But the recruiter wasn't Epstein, it was Ghislaine Maxwell. She told the girl it was just a job, $200 for a massage for an older man in Palm Beach. The girl needed the money. She had no idea what situation she was stepping into. On July 2nd, 2020, after months out of public view, the FBI located Maxwell in New Hampshire. The charges were serious, recruiting young girls for Jeffrey Epstein and in some cases being involved in misconduct. She was later sentenced to 20 years. But here's the part that keeps this story active. Even with Epstein gone, Maxwell has not publicly named other individuals. She has suggested there is more to the story and has expressed concerns for her own safety. Do you believe her? And if she's concerned, what exactly is behind that fear? One of the first people to connect Maxwell to Epstein's actions was Virginia Giuffre. Her account became widely known. She was a teenager working at Mar-a-Lago when Maxwell noticed her. She was like this really bright Mary Poppins kind of a figure. I know this guy. There's an opportunity. It was this proper English lady who just looked so nice. No alarm bells went off. That's where the manipulation came in. It wasn't always obvious or threatening. It was someone who appeared trustworthy, well-spoken, and polished. That image created a sense of comfort. Her dad dropped her off. Maxwell greeted him, reassured him, and promised she'd be safe and returned home. Virginia was only 16. She would never have met Epstein without that introduction. Allegations later included claims that Maxwell facilitated connections with other powerful individuals, including Prince Andrew, who has denied wrongdoing but reached a settlement in a civil case. But what happened inside those rooms? The accounts shared by accusers are deeply disturbing. They describe situations that quickly became uncomfortable and confusing. What started as something presented as normal shifted into something they were not prepared for. They were told to comply, often feeling pressure and confusion. Some describe being paid and then driven home, unsure how to process what had happened. In April 2025, just weeks before additional Epstein-related documents were expected to be released, Virginia Giuffre passed away. Reports indicated that prior to her death, she had been involved in a serious road incident. She survived that event, but later died by suicide. Before her passing, she had shared a message publicly stating that she was not suicidal. That message has since become a major point of discussion, raising questions among those following the case. Her family released a statement expressing deep heartbreak, saying she had lived through years of trauma and was a survivor of abuse. Official records show that Epstein and Maxwell maintained varying levels of contact with individuals over time, which added to the complexity of these cases. Some people have pointed to patterns or repeated experiences, while others emphasize that not all connections imply intent or coordination. Virginia had previously spoken about moments where she felt unsafe, including close calls while traveling. Whether these experiences were connected or coincidental has been widely debated, but no official findings have confirmed a broader link. Another name that has appeared in online discussions is Ellen DeGeneres. Around the time when public interest in Epstein-related stories increased again, Ellen's executive producer, Stephen "Twitch" Boss, passed away by suicide. Reports described certain unusual details, including travel decisions and limited public information about a note he left behind. However, it is important to note that no verified evidence has connected his passing to any larger network or situation. Still, the timing led to increased speculation across social media and online platforms. Court-related discussions have suggested that Maxwell had connections with individuals across different industries, including business, politics, and entertainment. However, claims that she made specific arrangements or agreements with celebrities in exchange for silence remain unverified. During that same general period, Ellen's long-running show came to an end, and she stepped away from public appearances for a time. Some observers connected these events, while others viewed them as unrelated. There are also clips from Ellen's show that have have circulated widely online. One of them features Sandra Bullock discussing skincare treatments in a lighthearted, comedic way. Some viewers later interpreted these clips in a more serious or suspicious context. However, there is no factual evidence supporting those interpretations, and most experts consider those claims to be misunderstandings or exaggerations. In broader discussions, topics like anti-aging research, celebrity wellness trends, and scientific advancements are often mentioned. While these are real areas of interest, linking them directly to criminal activity without evidence is not supported by verified information. There has also been attention placed on symbolism, set designs, artwork, and visual themes seen in media. Some believe these elements carry hidden meanings, while others see them simply as creative expression. No confirmed connections have been established. One of the more detailed accounts comes from a diary reportedly connected to an accuser. It describes how individuals were approached through structured environments, programs, camps, or mentorship opportunities that appeared legitimate. Trust was built gradually. In some cases, references to well-known public figures were used to create a sense of credibility. Seeing familiar names made everything feel safe. For many, that was the key factor. Here's a woman who was eager to get into modeling, introduced to people connected to powerful circles. With high-profile individuals and security presence around, she believed everything was legitimate. But according to multiple accounts, that trust was misplaced. What followed, as described by some, was not force in the traditional sense, but psychological pressure. Situations where boundaries were blurred slowly, making it difficult to recognize what was happening until it was already underway. In some cases, there were suggestions that people close to the individuals involved may have been aware of certain aspects, though details remain unclear and not fully confirmed. I gave her a hug. She said, "I don't want to do this. I have a boyfriend." That moment reflects the hesitation and fear that some described. Others around them sometimes minimized those feelings, which made it harder to step away. Now, years later, the pressure continues to build for full transparency. Many are calling for the complete release of remaining Epstein-related documents. Virginia Giuffre's co-author Amy Wallace has said that the responsibility to reveal the full truth should not fall only on survivors. Authorities, she argues, should take a more active role in presenting clear findings. But as long as information remains limited, questions will continue. Some people point to patterns, moments where individuals come forward, attention increases, and unexpected events follow. Others caution that drawing conclusions without solid evidence can lead to misinformation. This divide is what keeps the discussion active. People are watching timelines closely. When certain documents are discussed, when public figures step back from the spotlight, when major headlines appear, these overlaps naturally lead to speculation. But speculation is not confirmation. We may never know every detail of what happened behind closed doors. What we do know is that there were serious allegations, real investigations, and individuals who came forward with difficult accounts. We also know that Ghislaine Maxwell, now serving her sentence, has indicated that there may be additional information that has not been publicly revealed. The question many people are still asking is simple. If there is more to the story, will it ever be fully uncovered? And if it is, how much of it will change what we think we already know? For now, the case remains one of the most widely discussed and closely followed in recent history, partly because of what has been confirmed and partly because of what remains unknown.